Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam ajma'in. We begin in the name of the Divine, the All-Merciful, the Especially Merciful, and sending divine favor on our Master Muhammad and his family and his companions, all of them. It's such a loaded topic. It has been put off for a while. We're diving into the final section of soulmates in the Quran and prophetic tradition. To clarify the point on lineups in the last video, not meant to be a lifestyle. Having rosters and lineups is not meant to be a lifestyle, because I'm going to warn you, it can get addicting, and this is why I gave the disclaimer. It is not for everyone. Attached to Allah alone. Girlfriend, boyfriend, intended, engaged. There's no engaged on those application boxes or any kind of checkbox. You're either single or you're married in those. All I'm saying is, do not treat any man like your husband, any woman like your wife, until you are actually publicly having a nikah. You have it announced. You actually have a nikah, really. That's ideal. But at least announce a public date. I don't care if they talk to parents, I don't care if they give rings, whatever they give or don't give, do, don't do, it is what it is. This is a way to really stay grounded and protect our hearts, which we talked about again in the last video. Moving forward, I really try to stick to the text in quite the hyper-masculine society. What I mean by when I say that is, in the West and even a lot of Muslim countries and other countries, there's a high focus on doing. There's doing and there's being. We're not talking about men and women here. We're talking about qualities. That the difference between qualities and actual biology is that Prophet ﷺ, for instance, is our example. He's our model. He embodied both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Had both jalal, which are rigorous qualities, right? And Prophet Isa, he was known for having more jamal, or beautiful traits, which is more the spirits of Allah, all about the spirituality and getting back the true essence and inner reality behind these rituals that we honor and uphold, inshallah. So, tying his camel. But he also had the quality of putting the trust in Allah. He taught believers to do the same, which is trust is a state of being. So that is a more feminine trait. So our Prophet was command. He was the complete perfection of all masculine and feminine divine qualities. My names of Allah, which that are actually in the Quran, Allah's names are infinite. We cannot name them all. MashaAllah, at the end of Surah Al-Hashr, Allah tells us, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى. Look it up. Find any and every error on my part and correct. MashaAllah, the gist and the basic idea of these two ayat we see at the end of the chapter of the gathering in the Quran is the names of the divine, such as the king, the producer of peace, the inspirer of belief. All these beautiful names and these jalal names, these rigorous names, majestic names of Allah. And many chapters in the Quran are named after Allah's name. So it's a whole thing. It is clear that there are some qualities that are more feminine. For instance, Ar-Rahman, on a linguistic basis alone, comes from the root Rahamim, which Raham also shares. Raham means womb. Raham is the space where life is produced in a woman. And this is a divinely feminine name. It's a divine feminine name, also encompassing by many scholars that it is both divinely feminine and masculine. It is easier to know a thing by its opposite, or by what contrasts with it. The archetype or the typical prototype of Prophet Moses is more jalal, more rigorous. Even he was able to fetch water for his soon-to-be teacher's daughters. Did this act. He had these gentle qualities as well. Again, as believers, we are called to embody both the divine feminine and masculine. We all come from one source. We're all returning to one source. At our essence, we are one. Basic truth to Islam, that Allah is the only absolute. We use it to balance ourselves more. Al-Latif, it means the gentle. It also means the subtle. And it has to do with this divine mystery of Allah and show rather than to tell. Spiritual aspects of Islam are neglected, and those also have to do with the Jamal, or the more beautiful divine names of God. That includes the more subtle or gentle aspects. We often focus on the Jalal, or the rigorous traits of Islam, the Fara'id, what's required. We have Moses, who typically is seen as embodying the letter of Allah, which is typically Jalal, and more rigorous, majestic, and ultimately in the divine masculine names. And we have the Jamal, which Prophet Isa, or Jesus, tended to embody, which was more of the spirit of those subtle aspects. And the more esoteric, you could even say, Ibn Arabi, someone who was in tune with the divine feminine names of Allah. Whereas Imam al-Ghazali, Allah, preserve him, he, mercy on his soul too, he was more on the rigorous side. He focused more on the rituals, but even in that example, he affirmed the spirit of Allah, and even al-Arabi, Allah also affirmed the letter of Allah, that he affirmed the prayers, and he got to these gnosis and these high states of consciousness through his ibadah and his worship and his service. So it seems all over the place. Inshallah, I'm going to edit this and get some text going. This conversation is to be continued. Truly encourage you to do your own research, brothers and sisters. Ask your teachers, ask your sheikh, ask your imam. Look up on YouTube these topics. My goal right now is just simply to pass on what I've been able to learn from my teachers, and also to research and piece together and do a little qiyas, a little bit of reasoning. It's not out of our reach. Allah gives us aql and read for a reason. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and until next time, assalamu alaikum, and blessed month of Shaban and soon to be Ramadan.